The thinking and feeling preference is completely independent of our sensing and our intuition. However, they can be combined together, which creates us four different combinations. The four different combinations are sensing plus thinking, sensing plus feeling, intuition plus feeling, intuition plus thinking, and each of these combinations are going to create a different personality, and they're going to be characterized by their interests, values, needs, how they think, their habits, their surface traits, and everything that's going to then naturally result from this combination. And these combinations with the common preferences are going to share some qualities, but every combination has qualities of its own, and it's going to come from an interaction of their preferred way of looking at life and their preferred way of judging what is being seen. When we look at these similarities and differences, we're going to see that others have the same combinations, and they may be more apt and the easiest to understand and the most to be liked. However, they tend to also have similar interests since they share these same kinds of perceptions, and they like to consider the same things important, and thus they tend to also share the same kind of judgment. On the other hand, however, people who differ on both preferences are going to be a little more hard to understand, hard to predict, and it even becomes debatable that they at times stand on opposite sides. And if these very opposite people are acquaintances, those clashes may not matter much, but if you are coworkers, you're working on the same team, maybe you're close friends, or even members in a family, those constant oppositions are going to be a strain on your relationship. We're going to look at conflict, and there are very destructive conflicts that come just because two people are using different kinds of perception and judgment. And when the origin of the conflict is recognized, it can really become less annoying and easier to handle. And even more disruptive or destructive conflict is going to exist between people and their jobs when the job makes no use to that worker's natural combination. This would be kind of like a construction worker being more interested in mathematics. We're looking at that great conflict that comes. So sensing plus thinking, they rely primarily on sensing for their perception and thinking for judgment. And their main interest tends to be focused on facts because facts can be collected and verified by their senses. So the sensing and thinking people are going to approach their decisions with an impersonal analysis of facts. And because of their trust in thinking and that logical step-by-step process of reasoning, they are going to be able to come from a cause to effect and a premise to a conclusion. So in consequence, their personalities tend to be very practical and matter of fact, and their best chances of success lie in fields that are going to demand an impersonal analysis of facts. The sensing plus feeling combination is going to rely on sensing for their perception and feeling for their judgment. And they approach their decisions with a very personal warmth and love harmony. And because their feeling weighs on how much things matter to themselves and to others, they're more interested in facts about people than in facts about things, and they tend to be sociable and friendly. They're most likely to succeed and be satisfied in work or situations where their personal warmth can be applied to effectively take care of an immediate situation. Intuition plus feeling is that personal warmth, again, of the sensing and feeling person. They have that same warmth and that same desire for harmony. But because this is really relying on that feeling part of it. But they prefer intuition to sensing, and so they don't really center their attention on a situation that sits before them. Instead, they want to look at projects and possibilities and new truths and new things. And they love to really look into things that would be equated to inspiration. Their personal warmth and commitment is really what makes their follow-up a very impressive piece in their personality. They tend to also be enthusiastic and successful and insightful, and they have a very marked gift of language that communicates both a possibility and a value. They're most likely to find success and satisfaction in a work that calls for creativity that is going to meet some kind of need for a human being. Intuition and thinking is your intuition plus your thinking. So they're going to use intuition, but they team it up with thinking, and they're going to focus on possibilities. And they like to do that with an impersonal analysis. They usually prefer to have a theoretical or an executive possibility, and then not as important would be that human element. They tend to be very logical and inventive. They are most successful in problem solving. They love to be problem solvers. So everyone has probably met all kinds of these people, and especially each one of these four kinds of people. Our STs, the sensing and thinking, who are practical and matter of fact. The SF, sensing and feeling, who are sympathetic and friendly. Our NF, our intuition and feeling people, who are enthusiastic and insightful. And our intuition and thinking, who are both logical and inventive.